This is Module 2, Exercise 3. In this session what we want to do is actually create an object in the LIMS using the API, and we'll be doing that using the browser plugin Poster that we've discussed and used in a previous session. So we could start from first principles and use the developer website to figure out exactly what the XML should be. But in practice what I find myself doing is getting something from the API that's similar, taking the XML, just changing the bits that I don't want, changing the bits or adding the pieces that I do want, and then sending it back. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go into the LIMS and let's get a list of all empty 96 well plates. Let's apply the filter, and it says there are 10, and let's take this first one and let's copy its LIMS ID to the clipboard, and then let's switch over to the Poster plugin. I've got the link to my API here. I need to supplement it by typing in containers and then putting the LIMS ID of the container that I'm interested in. Let's put in my authentication credentials and let's do a get. So the response comes back. Let's copy that and we'll paste it into the section here which is contents to send. So we'll paste it in, and for ease we can reformat parts of this. It's not too bad to it's not too bad to read, but we can always make it a little bit easier. Okay, so I want to make a new container. Let's give it a name. So we'll edit what's already there by removing the name, and we'll put in API test container. So let's have a look at what else is in here. So we've got a URI, and that's to, well, that can't be to the new one because it hasn't been created yet. And likewise the LIMS ID is to the one that we retrieved the information for. So we actually want to take that out because none of that applies. So let's take that out. Everything else is good. It's a 96 well plate. We're not putting any samples into it, we're just cloning an empty container, so that's all good. And we want to send this back to the server, but of course this is not an edit, we're creating a new object now, so this is not a put, it's actually a post. And the other thing I need to do is actually change the URL that I'm posting to, because of course this URL was to that specific one that I used to retrieve the information from, so that I could copy it and edit it and send it back. So I want to remove that, and we'll just post this back to the containers resource. So let's go ahead and hit post here and see if this works. And it does. And we can verify that by going back into the LIMS client. The refresh button is already showing here, but let's just refresh the list. We now see that there are 11 containers here where formerly there was 10, and we've got a new one created called, as we named it, API test container. So a very quick and simple example of creating a new object in the LIMS using the browser plugin. As I've said before and elsewhere, we'd largely be doing these kind of interactions via a script, but for one-off things don't forget that you can use the browser plugin Poster and save yourself the overhead of writing a script to do essentially a simple one-off operation. Thank you.